Well, good morning, everyone. This is Andrew with MrRCSound. I was just going to do some overview of the smoke unit here per request. I was asked to take some pictures, so I thought actually instead of taking some pictures, I'd do a quick video and show you what it was all about. Now, this one I started breaking this one in. I haven't finished yet. The unit that comes in the kit will have 1 foot of hose, so it'll go out to, about there. And then I'm also going to have these adapters. These are a high temp plastic. Now, they still did soften up a little bit on me, but so far they've worked well. I think they're going to be okay. They're a lot lighter than using the brass adapters, and they don't get as hot. The hose is a high temperature hose, and it's rated up to 500 degrees. So far I haven't had any problems. The way that it's hooked to the unit here is it's just simply CA'd in. And this is the best, rather than putting an adapter or something in there and having that melt. It's better to have the hose right in there. So if this ever pops out on you, just simply stick it back in, CA it, and you're set to go. So as you can see here, there's a fan on top, and that actually pushes the air out. Now if you look, there's this is a voltage regulator card on here, and there's a little brass screw here, and that regulates the fan speed. So you can actually change the fan speed depending on what you want. If you want pumping it out of there as fast as you can, you turn it up. If you want a little bit slower, not as much coming out, then you turn it down. This here is the switch card, and there's actually a LED under here. You can't really see it, really tiny LED, and when it's connected properly, that flashes once per second. So it's flash, flash, flash. And if it's faster than that, then it's not hooked up correctly. Usually it's just you got this backwards. So that this hooks up to a channel on your receiver, which is then linked up with your transmitter to a switch that you can turn on and off during flight. So the way that we fill this is I have a bottle. I'll show you that in just a minute. So that you can't mess up the mixture, and you just squeeze it in down through the fan, and the unit sucks it up, and that gives you about 2 minutes and 15 seconds worth of smoke time. About 15 seconds of that is warm up. I recommend using that on the ground, and the other 2 minutes can be used in the air, switching it on and off as wanted. Once it's heated up, the smoke, when it comes back on, is almost instantaneous, within a second or two. The first use, it takes probably about 15 to 20 seconds for the smoke to come up to full smoke. So that's why I suggest, starting it out on the ground and warming it up a little bit before takeoff. So the whole unit weighs about 5.5 ounces. Temperatures inside do get very hot. The hose does get quite hot, so I would recommend maybe some just aluminum foil or something to insulate if you're going to be right up against foam. The outside really does not get that hot. I have a protective material on here. It's actually a fiberglass with a reflective material, and it actually keeps it quite warm. After a 2-minute run, you can put your hand right on it, hold it like this, and it's warm. It'll get fairly warm, but not to the point where it's going to melt foam or anything. The only real thing that you have to worry about is probably the first couple inches of the hose. After that, it gets cooler. Trying to think of anything else here that you might need to know about. The mixture for the smoke. I'm not going to be selling the mixture just because it's a pain in the neck to try to send liquids and stuff now, and I'm not sure how to classify it. But because I suppose under ideal conditions it could be flammable, but it's really not. I've tested this many times. I've got at least 35 runs on one unit, 2-minute runs, and I've got much air time. The one mixture that I did, I was having problems with it flaming up. Since I modified the mixture, it seems to be fine. I haven't had any problems at all. Now, I can't eliminate 100% the chance of it catching, but I've done all that I can to eliminate as much of that as I could. So, you know, as a purchaser, I just want you to be aware there is a slight chance that something could go wrong, heat buildup, something like that, and it could catch. If it catches, turning it off, usually it stays contained right in the tube. You'll notice the smoke stop immediately, and turn it off, and everything will be fine. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm doing more testing, but I'm pretty happy with the results here now with this mixture. So the mixture is actually glycerin based, glycerin and water based, and I'll give you when I do the video for the actual units when they go out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video that shows in the break-in for this. There is a break-in that needs to be done. You're going to have to go through a little bit of the glycerin and water mixture, and I'll give the exact amounts that you mix and stuff, and I'll show you the bottle in just a second. And the bottle is going to have a sticker on it with the glycerin level and then the water level on it, and that's basically all you need to do for mixing it up. Glycerin is easily found at, well, I've found it at Hobby Lobby. They use it for liquid hand soap making and stuff like that. You can also find it on eBay. It's harmless, biodegradable. You can actually, I've actually tasted the stuff just to see what it was like, and it's would actually make a good pancake syrup. It's actually kind of sweet and kind of feels warm in the mouth. I wouldn't recommend doing too much of it because from what I understand it can have a laxative effect, so that's the last thing you need at the airfield. So anyways, that is the smoke unit overview. As you can see, it's not real big. Fits in the palm of your hand, weighs about 5.5 ounces. It will require its own battery. A 6-cell is recommended. It will run on a 5-cell, but a 6-cell is recommended for the best heating of the elements, and it draws a maximum of about 22 amps. That's right at startup, and then it drops off fairly quickly down to about 13 amp draw or so. I'm using a 1300 milliamp 6-cell pack, and I get 3 2-minute runs out of that safely. If you're concerned about weight, what I would do, and in fact I've got a couple coming, I've got some 3-cell 500 milliamp packs. I'm going to put 2 of them together to make 6-cell 500 milliamp, and that should be good for 1 run of 2 minutes. So let me show you the bottle here in just a second, and then I'm going to show you this. I've got a plane ready to go for this. I've been working on the P40, putting it in the P40, and I'll show you that. This is the bottle that I was referring to. This line here indicates glycerin. That's the level that you fill the glycerin up to, and then you top it off with a purified water, a bottled water. I do recommend not using tap water, but something that has been filtered so that no contaminants get into it. And then you'll see that it's broken up into thirds. So you got 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. So a typical 2-minute run will take just about 1/3 of a bottle. So squirt that down in the fan, and you're all set to go. Let it settle maybe 30 seconds or so. So now we're going to show you the installation here in this P40. So as you can see, it fits right down in there. I've got the connector hooked up here so that I can disconnect it and move it to another plane if I want to. Just makes it a little easier. And I've got it piped out to the back here. So right here is the exit. I'm not quite ready to go with this plane yet. I'm going to put the sound system in it as well, and if all works well, this will be a first as far as I know. I've scoured the web and unable to find a airplane with smoke and sound on it. So hoping to have a world first here, have smoke and sound on an electric RC plane. So anyways, that's an overview of the smoke system. Stay tuned. The conditions are really good this morning for flying, so I'm going to put the smoke system on the other plane that I use for testing, and we're going to get some flying in here. Nice blue skies, and we should be able to get some good video this morning.